My name is Brian Wembia, also known as B-Flow. I'm a Zambian dancehall artist, an activist, and a person who pushes an agenda called Music for Change. And I use my music and my voice and my influence to impact positive social change on the society, both in Africa and around the world.
Why music?
Why music? Because for me it's a God-given talent, and also because I feel it's the easiest and also most influential and impactful way of expressing myself and putting my message across.
Very few people might know you internationally, except Zambians that follow your music. How exactly did you get into music?
I started music way back when I was still in primary school. I started singing and then learning how to write music. So by the time I went to high school and college, I decided to actually pursue it as a career. A lot of people thought that I was going to just end up maybe being a lawyer or a doctor, because maybe they thought I was very intelligent and I was a school head boy. So everybody else would expect that I would pursue a white collar job. But then I had to do music because it's something that I was really passionate about. But then my mom was against the idea. She wanted me to go to school and pursue further studies and just take on a whole different career. I wanted to do music, and I'm happy that somehow it has brought me this far and I'm still enjoying it.
Do you feel fulfilled? Because a lot of people, again, may think that music, like your mom was against it, music is not a career that might be paying, especially in a country like Zambia. Do you think you've lived your goals?
I have, and I've actually achieved more than I thought I could. Because when I started, I thought that I was just going to be an entertainer who was just going to be famous. It was about getting the fame. But then when I learned about the importance of a legacy, as well as trying to do something really good for the society and give back to the community by talking about the real issues that people are really facing, I thought that that's really fulfilling for me, and I'm really happy that my music is touching lives and also changing lives. So I believe that definitely I am fulfilled.
One wouldn't be wrong to say most of your competitors nowadays sing about love, and yet you've taken on social messages in your music. How easy is it for you to put across a message that is also going to sell, given the influence that love and music have got?
When I started, I was also singing about just love and everything else that everybody else is singing, the pop music, the mainstream music.
And of course, we've done a number of songs, and with me in front of me is a list of some of the songs that you've done. Let's talk about them. There's Dear Mama, for instance. Yes. What does it talk about?
Alright. Dear Mama is a very personal song, but it's also a song that many other people out there can relate with, because many people have lost their mothers and would wish that when great things are happening in their lives, when they are being very successful, they're accomplishing things, they would want their mothers to be around, because mothers are there right from the beginning, just like fathers are. And sometimes fathers are never there, but mothers could be there. For example, in a situation where a man refuses to take responsibility over a child, and the mother is the one that raises the child. And I've been raised by a single mother myself, so I appreciate and I call my mother the genesis of my story. She was there right from the beginning, and I wish that the same way she was there during the beginning, though we struggled together through the years, I wish that she could be around at this point when a lot of great things are happening in my life. So it's a song which is dedicated to many orphans out there. It's also a song that gives a reminder to people who still have their parents, to say you need to appreciate them while they are alive. You need to appreciate your mother while she's there. You need to give her the flowers and the roses while she can still smell them.
And this is a song that features the former president of the United States, Barack Obama. Tell me more about that.
Yes. So when I talk about the many great things that are happening in my life, and how I wish my mother could be around to see and maybe experience them with me and enjoy the benefits that come with it. One of the examples of those great things is actually the endorsement that I got from former President Barack Obama of the US. So from my Yali experience, and the story is...
Yali, you're referring to the Young Leaders Initiative.
Yes, exactly, the Young African Leaders Initiative, which is President Obama's Young African Leaders Initiative. It is part of his legacy, and it's an investment to Africa where they're investing in young African leaders and ensuring that these young leaders can also contribute to their own communities. So when I went for Yali, there's a part where we have the academic institute, and then there's a part where certain individuals like myself were awarded what they call a professional development experience, which is like an internship to work in the US in a field that you belong to. So for me, it was the music industry. I got to work in a music production company to learn how to set up a record label so that I can come and do the same back home. Then we had a presidential summit, and during that presidential summit, President Barack Obama delivered a speech in which he got to talk about the work that I do in Zambia. He mentioned my music and my aspirations in music, which was really shocking for me because I never even expected it. Because there were about 1,000 people during that town hall meeting. So that was just a beginning of many great things for me, and I feel that was the beginning of what I'm now calling my international journey, because it's always a reference point. Everybody wants to ask to say, how did this come up, and what are you doing after that? So it's been an opportunity that has opened so many doors out there, and now I have the opportunity to travel to places I never imagined, like going to perform in Europe, going to perform in America, and I keep getting these invitations because people are getting to find out more about that endorsement, and also what I've been able to do after that through YouTube, social media, and the like.
How did it feel for such a person to endorse your music?
So unbelievable. It was like a dream. I felt like I was just dreaming, and I felt so emotional. That's why the song Dear Mama is so personal. And the concept of Dear Mama came right when it happened, because this happened in 2015. But then it took me like a whole year to be able to come up with a song, because the emotions, and I just needed to find a way of bringing it out. But it's something I kept thinking about. So it was not, I can't say a dream come true, because I never dreamt it could even happen. But it was so unbelievable, so motivating. It gave me this self-esteem, and I started believing in myself from that moment to say, wow. So it's possible that a person that comes from a very rough beginning like myself can achieve such great things and still get recognition even internationally for something that I do in a country that I believe is not even really known out there. Because even in the US, I've seen people ask me, well, Zambia, where is that? Is it Gambia? Or they'll say, when are you going back to Zimbabwe? I correct them, I say, no, I said Zambia. So being recognized for doing work in a country like Zambia for me motivates me and makes me think that there's nothing that can stop me from achieving anything. At that moment, just became very motivating, and this self-esteem that I have, the confidence I have right now, it's as a result of that.
And then there's Voiceless Woman.
Yeah.
What about it?
Voiceless Woman is the title track of my third album, which I dedicated to the fight against gender-based violence or violence against women. It's also a song that it's also an album that was dedicated to dealing with problems such as infidelity, because infidelity is also one of the causes of gender-based violence, as well as causes of HIV/AIDS in our society here in Zambia. So I thought that if I could address those issues, then I was going to contribute. As a person who's quite influential and has a following out there, people could learn something from my music, and that's why I did Voiceless Woman. So it's the title track of the album, and it's the same album that has songs like Something About a Woman and Cry of a Woman.
So let's then get into Something About a Woman. Yeah. What does the song talk about?
Something About a Woman is a song that that was inspired by the fact that I was raised by a single woman. And then it's a song that just reminds men of the role that women have played in our lives. Sometimes we don't even get to realize that we become great men, we become strong men because of what we've been taught by women. Some of us were raised by women, and these women are the ones that spent time with us. Our fathers were busy working all the time, but it's the mothers that were instilling even the values that we have today that have helped us become the good men we are. So it was just a reminder also to the men that they need to treat their women right, and they also need to give opportunities to women and let them have that equal opportunity in society in terms of employment, education, and many other things in society. So it's just a reminder. It also talks about issues like men that have abandoned their women. We've had situations like here in the mining industry where when somebody gets their retirement package, and then they abandon their family to go and enjoy that money with a woman that was never there at the time that they were struggling. And once the money is finished, that's when they decide to go back to their wives. And these wives, shockingly, have been able to welcome them back. So it's a song that was just talking about how a woman has got a very unique heart.
And then there's Cry of the Woman?
Yeah. Cry of a Woman is a song in which it's based on a true story. I once went to a town called Lusaka here in Zambia. I was performing there. Then a woman approached me backstage and she was just telling me of how much she loved one of the songs that I did on my first album. It was called Bubblegum Lover. And she said that song really talks about me because in the song you were talking about how men will use a woman more like hit and run. You're chewing gum, and when it's still sweet, you continue to chew it, but once you've gotten what you want, you spit it out. So she was saying, it's like you were talking about me on that song. I still believe in love, and I just wish I could find a man who is different, a man who can encourage me the way your song encourages me. So that was so encouraging to me, and it motivated me to write the song Cry of a Woman, where I was now beginning to think that there are so many other women that could be in this situation. They still believe in love, they still have hope that love does exist, but maybe they've been disappointed so many times, they've been violated, they've been beaten, they've been sexually abused, or they've been cheated on, but then they still have faith that they could find somebody out there. So Cry of a Woman, I had to use a female voice, so I featured a lady called Judy from here, and Judy represented the woman in that song. She was talking about how she felt about the things that men do against women sometimes, and on the other hand, as a man, I was just admitting that it's true that we have done things wrongly, and we hope to correct the situation and do it differently and inspire younger people that are coming behind us.
And then there's Limbi, which talks about girl child.
Yes, Limbi in English is interpreted as maybe. So on this song, I'm talking about the girl child, like you've put it, and I'm just saying maybe this is the child that one day will become the next first lady or the next president or the next cabinet minister of Zambia, and so we should not abuse her because of some of these myths that have existed in the past, like if somebody who is, for example, HIV positive goes to a witch finder or a traditional healer, and they are told to say, if you're going to have sex with a child who is 8 years old, then you're going to be healed. Those are myths. So I'm saying, but then instead of getting the healing, you actually pass on the virus to this child, and now the child is deprived of a future. So I'm saying maybe she's destined to become a president. Give her the opportunity to grow up and achieve her dreams. Then I'm also talking about just different situations of how children, like the girl child, is deprived of an education because her parents have decided to sell her to a man that is supposed to marry her. They marry her off, which is a problem we call child marriage. So it's addressing all these problems like lack of education, child marriages, and HIV/AIDS.
So far, based on the songs that we've reviewed, there's so much emphasis on females or women. Why is it so? Why are women so important to you?
Well, like I said, I was raised by a woman. And then apart from that, I also am one of the people that subscribe to the saying, empower a girl child, you empower the nation. You empower a woman, you've empowered the nation. I also really truly believe in that, because when you look at the disparities between the opportunities that men and women have had in society, you find that men have definitely, even the passing mark in school, for example, here in Zambia, we always say the cutting point for the cutoff point for women must be lower than men, because maybe, I don't know whether the reasoning is that men are stronger, or maybe men have more time to read and study, so then women are busy doing a lot of work, maybe in the kitchen, raising children and all that. So all that just makes me want to address the situation and say, well, even women can be empowered. Even these beliefs that women can't do subjects like science or mathematics, it's also a way of dealing with them, and just make sure that women are also economically empowered. And once we have that situation, I believe that even in terms of leadership and education, women can be successful too. Then we can have a balance and really get the development that we're really looking for.
But at the same time, you also sing about politics. One of the songs that you've sung is actually titled Politricks, a combination of politics and tricks.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so this song I had this word play and I was rhyming with words. One of the words was the word feast. So a feast in my language in Bemba is, we say ikofi or amakofi. Then the amakofi, the feast was rhyming with the word coffee, the coffee that we drink. So in the song I was saying, I was talking to a fellow youth. I was saying, dear youth, while you are busy fighting the other person who belongs to a different political party, who is supporting a different political candidate, the people that you are fighting on behalf, the people that you're representing, the politicians themselves, they're not fighting. So I was saying, while you hit your friend with your coffee, the politician is in the office and is drinking coffee. So in this song, I was just reminding young people never to be used as tools of violence, and just for them to realize their potential and know that they need to protect their future and not be used by politicians. So it's just a song that is very, very important to me.
And what is your ambition?
My ambition is to be able to change the direction of the Zambian music industry. Of course, not by myself, but by partnering with other musicians. So I'm just trying to make artists understand, through my achievements, my accomplishments, I'm trying to make them understand that you can actually still make it big in life and even in your music career by doing something that is important and meaningful, as opposed to doing things like objectifying women in our videos and singing about how we own Lamborghinis, or promoting guns, you know, what we call beef, which is like this being against another artist and talking bad about them. So I'm just making them understand that, guys, we can actually do something very important but still be successful, still receive, because I do receive awards. So I'm hoping that I can leave a great legacy, as well as empower fellow artists, especially the ones that are starting out, because sometimes it's very difficult to change the mindset of those that are already thinking about just the money and continuing to sing about things that their fans already know them for. So I'm trying to encourage new artists to sing about issues and come with that as new artists and continue on that journey.
But for you to be able to achieve all that you outlined, it means you have to be disciplined.
Yes.
How easy is it for you as an artist to remain disciplined despite the many opportunities that women may present to you, the exposure, the international travels that you encounter from time to time?
I'll say it's easy and it's not easy. So I'll say it's easy because it's easy when you have maybe the upbringing. The upbringing has a lot to do with making it easy. So the way I've been brought up, I feel like fame for me, or being an artist to me, for me, is something that I sort of planned, because I had a plan to say I want to become this successful artist. I want to prove that I'm a very great dancehall and hip hop artist. Then I want to be able to also contribute to society by spreading positive messages. So I believe that when you have a plan, you're more like you have expectations. So you know that because I have planned, so when that time comes, when I'm famous, when I'm finally famous, I should be able to behave like this. So I feel like I had a plan, and because of that, I'm able to stay disciplined. But it's hard when you don't have a plan, when things come easy, when the fame just comes and you're not aware that it was going to come. You were just giving it a try, then it happens. That's why people sometimes don't get to know how they're supposed to behave in a particular scenario. And for me, the kind of work that I'm doing, which is activism and advocacy, I believe calls for discipline. How will people believe my message if I'm in the forefront of abusing women or sleeping around, switching from one woman to another, or I'm the one that is sexually and physically abusing women? Then people won't believe my message, and it's lead by example. So I'm trying my best. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very, very much.